today. From TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville, Florida, it's Week 11 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on Jimmy Garoppolo and the San Francisco 49ers.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. A few minutes prior to us coming on air, this crowd was jolted into action with the introduction of these Jaguars. They're set for football as the Jags are ready to match up with the San Francisco 49ers. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Jaguar team. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And this coaching staff has to be pleased with how their defense played. Last week, they held their opponents to 3 points, and that was it. If they get anything comparable to that performance, this one's in the bag.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
The 49er offense coming out here for the first time, led by their quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo. Garoppolo, 5th season with the 49ers, 8th overall in the National Football League.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Garoppolo on first down. That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. 7 yards, the pickup there. Well, this defense for the Jaguars, they were excellent a week ago in that victory over Indianapolis.
And how'd you like to be the quarterback reviewing the game tape from last week and seeing this defense on the spot on almost every snap? If the ball was in the air, they took it away. If the ball was popped free, they picked it up. 5 takeaways in last week's game.
The numbers for him from a week ago, 22 carries, 82 yards, and a touchdown.
And he's hoping to have the same type of game, but he's going up against the #1 defense in the league, and they're very good at fitting the run. So now you've got to think offensive strategy, maybe a little more play action, and try and find some people open downfield.
On first down, they go with Mostert again. Cisco there on the stop. Now, this defense for the Jags, they were excellent a week ago in that victory over Indianapolis.
And I don't know what the actual percentages are, and I don't know the analytics when you create 5 turnovers or takeaways in a game. But coaches always say, when you create a number that high, your chances of winning probably up over 98%. I haven't seen that number quantified, but I believe them.
Yeah, they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that. Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
The Jacksonville offense getting ready to begin this first drive, and at the helm, the #1 overall pick back in April, Trevor Lawrence, the rookie out of Clemson.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Lawrence. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at a 45. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 6 catches, 121 yards.
And he's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against. They're the top 10 in the league against the pass, and you and I both know there's not much difference between 1 and 10.
Meanwhile, the throw here is complete. That catch good for only a couple. This defense for the Niners, they were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Open man right side is Shark. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. This defense for the Niners, they were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
There's a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the 2nd and the 3rd levels. You know, get to linebacker spot, the secondary spot.
Touchdown! I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass this young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed. Aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, and why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen. And it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked out officially at the 21. Back out there comes the 49ers offense, ready for their 2nd drive. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101.
Trying for Ayuk, but it's intercepted. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks up. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. Well, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes, those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
I think we can all understand what they're thinking right now. They take over the ball in field goal range after the turnover, so they've got that in their hip pocket. But they've got to go for the end zone and turn this into bigger points. Their thinking is a touchdown is really what they should get from starting here. Getting 3 points at the end of this drive, that would feel disappointing.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Lawrence will throw. Flush to his right. And the throw there going to be incomplete. 4th down now as San Fran's defense was strong in coverage. The kick by Lambeau is good, and that will make it 10-0 here in the first. So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. San Francisco set to go on offense once more. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped compete.
Now Garoppolo lost the football. And did the Jaguars come up with it? They did. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand. Put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead. They got the ball in great field position after the fumble, but this defense tried to stand tall.
They certainly are, and a lot of times after you pick up a fumble or get an interception, you have momentum on your side. You kind of walk through a defense and score. Not so fast, not in this case.
And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3. They'll try to run this one in. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A great play there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of a season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Garoppolo going to give to Mostert. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29. Well, this defense for the Jaguars, they were excellent a week ago in that victory over Indianapolis.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
His first catch, good for 8 and a first down.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Garoppolo. Now Garoppolo is in trouble, and down he goes. This offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. And here, another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
Now Garoppolo lost the football. And the Jags grab it. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. He already had the 1 fumble loss, so now 2 fumbles lost here in this first half.
Not setting the pace the way that you want it done. I mean, here in the first half, already twice the ball's come out and hit the turf. Got to find a way to take care of it. Otherwise, they may have to start thinking about maybe someone different at that position.
Close there. He caught it, just wasn't able to stay in bounds.
And that's where the sideline, it was used as a 12th defender. You know, 11's legal. This one is an imaginary one that my college coach used to call Sammy Sideline. Sammy Sideline can protect you at times, and in Nick's case, that's exactly what he did for the defenders.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Play action. It's Lawrence. This will be caught inside the 10. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
A lot of deflated looks on that defense. It seems like they just cannot find a way to get a key stop on 3rd down. Here's another conversion, and now this offense, they're in a position to go up even further as they've got it 1st and goal.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 43 yards rushing for him now to this point. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the deep...
And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Bo Scarborough, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point tacked on by Lambo. And the rout is on here in this first half. And Lambo now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Deebo Samuel and the 49ers back in possession here. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well, and they're really excited he has no catches. But they're
taking it right down Broadway. Past the 20. Touchdown, 49ers. Deebo Samuel, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers make some inroads here on that deficit. And we didn't even get a chance to settle in for that drive. A quick strike of 75 yards, and they find the end zone.
Don't you get the sense that film study was behind this one, that they saw something that they thought they could take advantage of? The key is calling it in the right situation, knowing when it exists to go to it. They did exactly that. They've got to feel really good about what they did in advance of this game.
Just looking down at the sideline now, their defense is like, man, can you have strung that out just a few plays? Give us a break. Back out there.
Hey, man, get that water break and get on out there and play.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
Now, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them. Every move they make works. It clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. Throwing now, Lawrence on first down. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down. A perfect example right there, Charles, of why they love this rookie runner.
And think about how the NFL and the college games are meshing together more and more. You don't have to go to the NFL and learn a new set of skills. What you did in college often makes you ready for the NFL.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Looking to throw again on second down. Lawrence. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Give him 2 yards on that play. And all of a sudden here, it's third down.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he is going to have a Jags first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Normally on third down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
And they give this time to the tailback. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
They go play action with Lawrence. Flushed out right. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence, a 12-yard touchdown run. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Point after by Lambo, up and good. And the crowd is on here in this first half. And Lambo now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. San Francisco's offense returns to the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Garoppolo to try again on second down. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quan Williams. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
George Kittle, the receiver that he was looking for, but it's going to be second down. Draw play, Garoppolo gives to Mostert. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. On first down, Garoppolo. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Throwing again on second down. Garoppolo. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line.
I'm not sure, Brandon, we've seen a sloppier played game this year for a team on offense. Turn it over 4 times and expect to win? No chance whatsoever. And look, I have no idea what the ratio is about turnover 4 times and how that correlates to winning or losing. But I'll guarantee you, it's not very good.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Now Lawrence to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half.
Right there, 54, right there, 54. Two-jet bombers, two-jet bombers. Hey, exit. There you go.
Final play of the half. It's Lawrence. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. And Lambeau will put this one through, and that will do it for this first half. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in the second half. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. So here are the Jaguars to take over on offense. Last week they got the victory against the Colts, so they lead this one as well as they begin things here 1st and 10. Looking to throw, Lawrence. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. And that will be incomplete. So no problems moving the ball in the first half, but they'll likely come up empty here on drive 1 of quarter 3.
And it was so important for the defense to get that stop, because what we witnessed in the first half was them getting run over. And they needed the confidence, and they needed to get off the field so they felt good going forward in this game.
And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. Our eyes shift to the defense of the Jaguars now. And they have forced now 4 turnovers, Mr. Davis. How've they been so effective?
It's hard to get a read on them if you're on offense because they're coming from different angles, different formations, different looks. But bottom line is, if I'm the defensive coordinator, anything on my play sheet appears to be working right now. You point it out all the time when we call games. Once they get that first one, it becomes a frenzy, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's snowballed here in this one. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. That's on the guard, Laken Tomlinson. They hand it off to Mostert. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Tough day. Tough. Sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. 2nd down. Here's Mostert again. 3 yards on the gain. They're going to need to do better on this next play. It'll be 3rd and 12.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you get ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws. And
well, they intercept Garoppolo for the 3rd time. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. This is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
It shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Extra point tacked on by Lambeau, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think he might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Here comes the 49ers punter now as he's on to kick it away. Here's Austin. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Sometimes those punt returns can yield some unnecessary roughness penalty.
Now, I know a lot of guys, when they run a long way to execute a block or make a hit, they're going to launch it no matter what, and it can often cost them.
Right there, 54, right there, 54.
On first down, Lawrence. And that is incomplete. Henry Ruggs, the intended receiver, but it'll be second down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
57's Mike.
On third down, Lawrence. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's going to come up a few yards short of the first. They get him to the ground at the 37. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. The kick by Lambeau is good. They're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So tack on 3 more, though it's just a rare drive where they did not find the end zone.
Yeah, you're right about that, partner. But at this point, I don't think you're too concerned about that. You just want to possess the football for a while and drain the clock. If you can get 3 out of it, that's great, too.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That's now consecutive 5-yard carries to pick up the first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Darren Lee gets him for a loss of 5. He is so tough to handle on the blitz, and that's Exhibit A. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Now Garoppolo is in trouble, and down he goes.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Now Austin. It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return, and that will come the offense as they take over. Jacksonville back on offense and ready to take over. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And he'll give it here to his running back. Shifts past him at the 45. And he will have a Jaguars first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. 86 yards rushing for him now as his fine rookie season continues. On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence. Throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete.
This is unbelievable.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
Here's Lawrence to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 10.
Hey, box drop, box drop. Check, watch 54.
Lawrence looking for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the 4th quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like 4th quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it results in a touchdown for Jacksonville. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And we see James, he will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. San Francisco set to go on offense once more. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick 6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? And he said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And the lead will swell by 1 more. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick 6 put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. Now Garoppolo to try again after the pick 6. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. Samuel bringing in the slant. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. And he's been one of their few bright spots here this afternoon.
And as you pointed out, so far he's gotten his. That's not been the issue at all. But the teammates, the other guys, they've been shut down. That's why the defensive guys have to feel pretty good, even though he's over 100 yards.
Yeah, he topped 100 with that last catch. Garoppolo now, first down throw. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete. He was trying to get it to George Kittle. It's tight end. That'll bring up second down. Garoppolo again. And right back to Kittle. This time he's got it. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
The Niners on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. They'll run the draw with Mostert. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 64 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting 3rd down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on 3rd down.
They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. There's Garoppolo to throw. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. Garoppolo to his tight end, Kittle, for a Niner first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's James. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. That was the 9th play of the drive, and they pick up 9 yards with it. On 2nd down, Mostert. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal as they look to punch in a late score. And this is caught. Well, they get one back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury, and it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run, and he finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
Gold with the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. Tavon Austin now from the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And this crowd has certainly liked what they've seen. Their guys fully expected to win this one coming in, and they have not disappointed as they've got the big lead here in the 4th. And some space here. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Now we've got whistles, and the man slow to get up here is Jones. We'll check on his status when we get back. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Here's Lawrence. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be giving a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line. Yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Henry Ruggs, the intended receiver. But now it'll be 3rd down. Now Lawrence. He'll let this go deep for Ruggs. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. He put quite a bit of air underneath that touchdown pass. Of course, we knew that he had the strong arm.
That part was easy. You could see that throughout his college career. But what you want to know about a rookie is when the pressure's on, can you throw with touch? He just did right there. And, boy, it was pretty.
Point after by Lambo, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it culminates in a Jags touchdown. And Lambo now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And we see James, he will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Deebo Samuel and the 49ers back in possession here. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. That catch good for only a couple. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And this is not going to be what they needed. They get a few here, but now 3rd down as the clock runs. Explosion help leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Jaguars, they keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to 7-3. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Atlanta Falcons next week. Meanwhile, for the 49ers, they're going the wrong way as this will drop them to 3-7 now on the year. And they'll get a home date next week against the Minnesota Vikings. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA.